So one of the things employers have been doing in recent times is using Zoom to conduct their interviews. This has been very preferable for people like me who tend to apply for stuff that is all over the place in terms of location, and it makes it feasible to, or increases the likelihood, I should say, of me being able to go to multiple interviews in one day. And yesterday, between 11 p.m. to 4 p.m., I had not one, not two, but seven job interviews. The first one was around 11, and the way this goes, or how this ended up being my schedule, is that a lot of these employers, when you send in your resume, it'll be like a day later, 2 days later, they'll say, "Oh, we saw your resume, and we're wondering if we could possibly speak to you at your earliest convenience," and then they'll give you some set date of and times that they're available. And when I was just kind of like sitting there and responding to them, because it was contacted in sort of a rapid succession during the morning, I picked one at, I think it was 11:45, then another one at 12:30, then another one at 1:10, and with them being that close together in terms of time, but it all being over the computer, and me knowing that most of these Zoom calls are anywhere from 20 minutes to less, I thought there'd be like no chance of overlap. So I did the first three, just kind of like sitting down somewhere, waiting between the intervals, just reading, doing whatever. And by the time I got to I was gonna drive somewhere else for the fourth one, which would be at 2 o'clock. And while I was driving, I was called by another employer, you know, some some other one I applied for, and they uh, asked me some questions about what I was comfortable with, and if I thought the job they were offering was capable of, being something I would want to do in the long term. And really, the job they're talking about probably is the one I'd say I'd want the most, because it's got the schedule that I like the most, which is a 10-hour shift, Monday through Thursday, and then you get 3 days off. I like that. Um, just kind of like, getting scrub, like doing a little bit of from between Monday to Thursday to peel off that extra, that fifth day, just so you can have basically a 3 day weekend. That's very appealing to me. So I said I would, meet them on, I think it's going to be Tuesday, and I realized as I was driving to the library that I wasn't going to have enough time to get over there and use their connection. So I just pulled over and spoke to the fifth one on my phone for about 2 minutes. Then about an hour later, I talked to another one. One of them called me. They called me. I didn't expect it, and they were just asking me questions. Then the final one at 4 o'clock was another like Zoom interview, just a bunch of people. But yeah, that's how in the span of 6 hours in one day I had the most interviews I have ever had. The maximum has been three. Um, and three, like usually in the past when I've had three in one day, that's where there's like been the highest likelihood of me actually getting a job somewhere. Um, my current employer, I'll never forget, they and this is how you know that like the leadership of that place has changed. It was October of 2023. I drove over there, 20-30 mile drive, and I spoke to one of the managers, and they hired me during the interview. Imagine going from being hired during the interview to now being only able to get one shift a week. It is a complete fall from grace. Total 360. Um, but yeah, this is the largest number I've ever had of just job interviews in one day. I have about four of them that have set like a definitive time to meet me in person. The problem again is going to be that there's like two or three that want to do the same thing at like 8 or 9, and they're not next to each other. And these in-person ones tend to be much longer, so I'll have to pick one over the other. And then there's another one that I think is later on tomorrow. But the two that are on Monday and Tuesday, I'll definitely go to, because I'm not doing anything of particular note during those days. So I can, I can fit them in my schedule very easily. But I generally don't like not showing up to interviews. Like, why would I schedule something and not appear to it? It really, like today, for example, I had one at 10:30, and then I thought about how far away they were, um, and I just said, "Look, this is too far." After just kind of like thinking more about it, because that place is a 100-mile drive to and back, 50 back. So I just said forget it. And then the other one, I was going to speak with today. I thought they were at 11:45, but it turns out 11:30. So I was driving while it was supposed to take place. So that canceled it. Um, and I said before that so many times I'll just sit at the computer and just apply for stuff that by the time they contact me, I'm not even fully cognizant of all the ones. Just because they're so, like, I'll have in my email 20, 30, 40 applications just on top of each other. So I tend to get mixed up or confused in terms of which one is which. But yeah, with that out of the way, there's at least 3 interviews I've got in the next 5 days. So hopefully something yields results and I can finally step away from these bastards at that restaurant and they can go and give somebody else 1 shift a week.